everyone, and welcome to Coffee with CA. So you went from being in the state of Gujarat, which is basically in India, to being in Doha right now. How did that happen?
And I must say that journey has been quite rewarding and quite gratifying, more than that. To me, Geena, success is not only your designation and your emoluments, what you get. Success is about how much impact you create. Let each success be a stepping stone or milestone of another success. So let your success be unstoppable. My father used to tell me that God has given 24 hours to everybody. It's up to you.
What I would like to ask you next is basically in Qatar, how are the opportunities out there for Indian CAs?
So despite all this crisis, the economy is quite resilient, quite strong. And as you know, needless to add over here, there's that the opportunities for chartered accountant always go in line with the strength of the underlying economy. One thing is that don't have the sense of elitism within you.
So, sir, you have chaired the ICAI Doha chapter, and as well as you are involved in the international relations at ICAI as well.
Finance is not only about the numbers. Finance should be, or finance function as a whole, should be more of a futuristic.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Coffee with CA with me, your host Geena Bharwani. What does it take a chartered accountant to go from a small city in Gujarat to being the chairperson of ICAI Doha chapter? That's exactly what today's guest, CA Nirlep Bhatt, has done. So let's get started and deep dive into his journey and learn all about what CA Nirlep Bhatt has done and how he's also been mentoring across the globe. So grab your cup of coffee and let's deep dive into his journey and learn all about how he's also been mentoring minds across borders. Hello, sir, and welcome to the show. We're really happy to have you over here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Geena, and entire Zoho team for having me over here. It's my pleasure and privilege. Zoho has been quite doing well, and I cannot be more thankful to all of you.
Yeah. So I'm going to pick your brains on what got you started into CA. Like, why did you choose this career?
So basically, see, when I was a young kid, my natural inclination toward mathematics, drew me towards a chartered accountancy case. This is one of the cases. This is also one of the courses, or probably the only courses, which is quite cost effective in nature, which is having no entry barrier or age barrier, where meritocracy is always rewarded. So these are the great, and which offers very high return on investment also. I mean, I cannot imagine any course which is so accepted and respected in the society, okay, which I could complete in around 60,000 rupees, if I remember correctly, many years back. And now also it's not that high. So I can say it's, inflation has not impacted it.
So, so you went from being in the state of Gujarat, which is basically in India, to being in Doha right now. How did that happen?
So I wanted to, compete and compare myself, and in the process, influence to the people around me.
Correct.
Okay, so I wanted to compete with the global talents.
Okay.
That is one of the things. One of the gentlemen in our family was already in the Middle East. So that was one of the reason why I ended up landing in Doha. Okay. So initial part of my career, I started working with ICICI Bank in BKC. Okay. Then I thought, okay, why not to move step further as far as the growth is concerned. Correct. So that's how I ended up in Middle East, in Doha. And I must say that journey has been quite rewarding and quite gratifying, more than that.
That's nice, sir. So you started off in ICICI Bank, and then I'm sure you've also gone through FMCG companies as well. What is that one mindset shift which kind of like took you forward into your next leap every now and then?
So, in all these things, I was very mindful that what are the elements of success and how I can grow further, because the industries are different. Correct. My levels are different. They were different. And the sectors are different, more importantly. Okay. Yeah. So what I realized, Geena, by observing others, my seniors also, that success has a different meaning over your career periphery. Yeah. When you are at the entry level or junior level, success means you have to, like in our field, you you do the MIS and budgeting and accounting, you are more of a compliance person, you follow the instruction. Your job, your job is to comply with the policies and procedure. For example,
Correct. Yeah.
next level, your job comes in designing the same.
Yeah.
So when you move ahead into the career where I am in after 18-20 years of my experience, success has a meaning that how I create the value, how I add the value, how I empower the people, how I make an impact, and how probably I can be the trailblazer in whatever I do.
So that you realized very early on in your life. Not many people really understand that, initially. So did that also impact on how you showcased on multiple forums as well? Showcased yourself on multiple forums?
Absolutely. See, because to me, Geena, success is not only your designation and your emoluments, what you get. Success is about how much impact you create, how you serve the society, how you influence the people, society and profession around you. So that has, drew me somewhere to serving into the Doha chapter of ICAI. So I was into the management committee of the Doha chapter of ICAI, which is the oldest overseas chapter out of 54 currently. And I went on to become the chairman in the year of 2021. And then I was also into Toastmasters. I was also into some other, business and professional forum. But the common thing about all this thing is that when you achieve little bit, okay, in fact, I use this analogy to when I address to my students, they ask me what is the success or how you achieve the success. When you achieve a slight success, first you look up. Look up means let each success be a stepping stone or milestone of another success. So let your success be unstoppable. Okay. Another thing is that look around. Look around means save yourself from harsh criticism and also from fake appreciation, which is also very common nowadays in social media era. And also importantly, look down also. Always help, empower and assist others, those souls who are less fortunate than you. So that's the whole paradigm of success, and that's how I've been active in all these forums.
So how do you manage your time while you're bustling around with work plus managing these forums over here?
Great question, Geena. See, my father used to tell me that God has given 24 hours to everybody. It's up to you. So as far as the time management is concerned, okay, I keep myself leisurely focused on any particular matter. Okay. I clearly demarcate between what is my goal and what is my dream. Now you will ask me what is the difference between dream and goal. Okay. So they say that goal is a dream with deadline. Okay. So for every bigger or smaller aspect, normally I define a deadline, and it requires you to be self-disciplined, which I hope I am able to do justice to all. And somewhere I also realized that when you do something which you like, or when you do something for which you are passionate about, normally you will not get tired. I have seen you, like you have executed, I read somewhere 50 plus episodes. You enjoy what you do because you are magnifying our skills, our competency to the larger audience. So even if you put sometimes 16 hours a day, that will actually give you satisfaction and not the feeling of tiredness. That is the exactly thing for me.
Okay, that's nice, sir. So since you mentioned Toastmasters, you see communication as a very important skill that has to be there with everyone in this day and age, right? So what do you feel the CA curriculum should do even more to incorporate this or inculcate this type of communication into all the CA students?
See, I think they are doing great work as far as because we are required to undergo GMCS, which is General Management and Communication Skills, okay, which I have undergone, and it is there I think since 15, 17 odd years. So that is one of the things. In this probably the group discussion or brainstorming, that kind of thing can be inculcated, okay. Now, since you asked me what can be done in this regard, in my humble view, there is a scheme of articleship for chartered accountants. In that time, probably it would be a great idea, okay, to dedicate certain number of days or hours mandatorily in which a student can be trained, or the skills can be inculcated at early in the career. But I must tell you also that now for the chartered accountants members, because looking to the overall competition scenario within the accounting and financial sector also, lot of great things have been done. Recently I have seen a professional skills enrichment committee has been formed by ICAI. I was it was constituted in last year, 2024-25. I was happened to be the first overseas speaker to speak on that, and my topic was the networking skills on that. And then I was a speaker for other topics also. So this is one of the great initiative. But as you rightly observed here, see, all these things are life skills. So the earlier we do in our career, it would be greatly benefited to the students, to the members, and to the clients and other stakeholders.
That's nice, sir. So what is one speech which you had given that really moved people, and what was that speech about?
So, probably you are referring where I won the speech contest.
Correct,
So actually there are 4 kind of category, and my category is the evaluation speech contest. So it's a very unique kind of speech in Toastmasters, where there is a speaker who will deliver the speech, and then there will be contestants who are required to evaluate the speech. So you are given a maximum 5 minutes, within which you are required to listen, observe the speech from all the angles, and present your evaluation speech in front of around 10 to 12 judges, and at that time around 300 attendees were there. So basically this speech contest, this category, it requires the time management, it requires the critical thinking, it requires your observation and listening skills. So basically the task was to motivate the speaker who has given the speech, while also suggesting the areas of improvement in a constructive manner.
Understood. So, given that you had won this award, right? And since you said that it was basically to motivate people and also provide criticism, but in a very constructive
way. Very constructive, yes.
So how do you see that as an important aspect when even managers are leading teams and all of it across different organizations? So can you shine light on it?
So basically, see, motivation is very, very important, and also managers have to understand, leaders have to understand the difference between motivation and inspiration. So, I can inspire someone by sharing my personal story. So for that person is an inspiration. So inspiration normally is external, while motivation is normally an intrinsic factor. So motivation flows from within. They say that, to give example, there are 2 kind of scooters which we had. One is the kick start, where you have to kick the scooter, and one is the self start. Motivated people are like self started scooters, where you don't need the external environment, to chase your goal, to achieve your target, and to keep it going. At the same time, I feel that on managers' part, it's very important to build up the culture which should be conducive enough, where more importantly in Indian context, if I may say so, that employees or the teammates should have the luxury to make mistakes. So, because unless you have the luxury to make the mistake, a person will never think something out of the box in a newer manner.
So, talking about making mistakes, what is one mistake which you have made, which you feel like, you shouldn't have done it, you could have done it better, especially in your CA journey?
I think it's a nice question, very interesting one. If you ask me one mistake, I would say that the mistake I have turned into an opportunity. So if I am allowed, let me elaborate it that way. So I think the mistake is to go out of India. 17 years back. So I could have been in India, I could have been in metros or in my own town, do something for the society, for the clients, for the customer, for stakeholders. So that was the mistake I am realizing now. But that is also the mistake for which I am grateful for now. Because now I have made that mistake. So I am endeavoring to be the brand ambassador of both the countries, my host country Qatar and my home country India. So wherever I speak normally, I try to magnify or highlight the great things about both this country, because I owe it to the land. I always say the land from where I am coming, peaceful, progressive and prosperous country, Qatar. So, I owe it to them. At the same time, there is no alternative of your Matrubhumi. Yeah. So, your motherland. So, this is the one mistake. I realize that yes, at certain point of time, you feel that this is a mistake, but this is also the mistake on which I am banking upon, for which probably I am grateful for.
Correct. That's nice, sir. I like the way you put it, like, where it's a mistake as well as it's an opportunity.
Of
which
course,
is
yeah.
good. What I would like to ask you next is basically in Qatar, how are the opportunities out there for Indian CAs? So are they good? Are they like, okayish, or people usually tend to go back and come back over here? So tell me more on that.
Yeah, so this is the question on which normally I take sessions on various forum. Recently I have been in some states of India and elsewhere before earlier also. So see, Qatar is a small country, ranked very high as far as the sustainability and strength of the economy are concerned. Ranked very high as far as the GDP, per capita GDP.
Yeah, because it's been booming.
It's been booming and relying highly on the hydrocarbon reserve.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. There are around 400 to 450 chartered accounts are there, maybe little or 500 also, who are occupying the decision making position in the respective organization. So, I am very happy to mention over here that as far as the trust and transparency are concerned, the relevant ministry, the organizations rely greatly on the Indian chartered accountant. Okay. So, despite the various geopolitical crises which the region and the country has witnessed, like blockade, like oil price slump earlier before the blockade, COVID, and then we had organized the Football World Cup. So, post FIFA, the economic blues in the economy. So, despite all this crisis, the economy is quite resilient, quite strength. And as you know, needless to add over here, that the opportunities for chartered accountant always go in line with the strength of the underlying economy. Not only that, but I always tell, recently I was a speaker in one of the seminars, I mentioned that not only for Qatar, but any chartered accountant in India, when they want to, when they are aspirant about exploring opportunity in other country, they should always analyze the country on 3 parameters. What are the G2G relationship, which is government to government relationship? What are the B2B relationship, which is business to business? So, in Qatar itself, there are around 8,000 business. See, imagine the country with the population of less than 30 lakhs. 8,000 entities where Indian person is the partner. And third one is the people to people relationship. That's nice, so, on these 3 parameters, anyone is requested to assess the country in which either is aspiring to do or exploring the overseas job opportunity, or even expanding their own practice. On all these parameters, Qatar is ranked very high.
So, what are some things which you feel like business capabilities, accounting capabilities can be pulled in from businesses in Qatar?
So, actually, if I tell you what probably government or the stakeholders can do even better, okay. One is that on the ease of doing business, about ranking of India. Okay, let's not compare about Qatar or any country. Let's assess in an independent manner for a while. So, if you see about the ease of doing business, so from the rank of 140, now we are at the rank of 65. Okay, so there is a great improvement is there. Another great thing also about Indian economy, which is there, if you remember before 10 years back, government has the objective or the very or a goal to make India $5 trillion economy. To make India 4th largest economy. We have already achieved the ranking in the economy about that, 3rd or 4th largest economy, 4th largest economy. We are very well on the course to become the $5 trillion economy by 2028. So, imagine the leadership, the vision and underlying strength of India, where something was set as a goal some 10 years before. Now, this is despite COVID crisis and other crises, COVID, internal crisis, external crisis and all. So, we should be very proud of the fact that despite this geopolitical downturn, turmoil, external factors, COVID,
Correct.
we are managed to achieve 6.5% growth. Okay. Similarly, the government has set the target to become USD $30 trillion economy when India will celebrate the 100 years of independence. And I have no iota of doubt that whether we will remain or not, but India will definitely achieve it. But yes, now taking about your question, that what certainly things, it can be done in a still different way. Probably,
especially in running the business and
the probably more incentive or more thrust, I would say rather, on the research and innovation aspect of the business, because as you know, many of these large enterprises in US and Europe and Western worlds are technology driven, and that technology is having the patent. So if in India, if you see on the global competitiveness index, another parameters, or global innovation index, on all the parameters India has achieved a lot. So we have come a long way.
Correct, yeah, definitely.
Definitely, and it's not easy. It's not a small achievement at all. But still we are lagging behind. One aspect is that on the research and development, innovation, invention in every industry, including in accounting industry. And another aspect is also on the gender parity, because no progressive nation can achieve the desired level of prosperity without equal opportunity to both the genders. I am a firm believer of that. Again, we have achieved a great things on that. When we offer the suggestion, it does not mean that we are undermining the achievements, but then a lot can be done in a better way and in a quicker way.
That's there definitely. So you have also spoken across multiple forums in different countries. What is the perception that you've picked up of chartered accountants or accountants of India specifically from these forums?
I have visited Kenya and Tanzania in person as a speaker. On other virtual platform, I have been speaker on around 8 to 10 overseas chapters, including Singapore, Adelaide, Washington DC, Netherlands. In around 8 to 10 branches of India, I have been a speaker all in an in-person manner. I will tell you, Geena, one great thing is that everywhere in every continent, in every countries, Indian chartered accountants are highly respected and accepted. They are at the decision making position. In countries like UAE, where you would be aware that the VAT was promulgated in 2018, and recently corporate income tax has come. You would be very happy to know that it's the Indian chartered accountant in a majority way. They have assisted UAE enterprise in the in compliance of the VAT and these taxes. I visited Kenya and Tanzania also, and I was very happy to see Indian CAs in practice, whose views were heard by the government also. So they are adding great value as far as the trust and transparency are concerned. In the Middle East especially, because there are a large number of family owned organizations are also there. There are CAs who have been the organizations over 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades. Some of them are my mentors. So they have actually grown with the company. So that's a great thing. So they are actually the backbone of the company. And another thing I will mention, that wherever an Indian chartered accountant resides, they will always be interested in ensuring that India soars higher. They will actually be brand ambassador, I would say, of both India and the country in which he or she is residing. And irrespective of the fact that they may be in Qatar or in any country since last 30 years, their love for India, their attachment and affection for India will never go down.
So that's really nice the way you put it across, sir. I'll pick up one more question from that, from an answer of yours. What is the one thing, especially in business aspects and running a business, which people are not talking enough, which things are going wrong, right? But it's being spoken at forums. But since you've been a speaker at multiple forums, so what are, like through this episode, I would like to bring out.
So actually, see, finance should be, or finance function as a whole should be more of a futuristic.
Correct.
See, it's there is a gap, certain level of invisible gap between the organization and accountant.
Correct. Yeah.
So people on the both side of the table, I would say. Finance people are, and there is a misnomer, it's a myth. Finance people are normally viewed as the compliance people.
Correct.
It's someone who is at the back door, okay, and who is not assisting enough. They are assisting enough, for example,
Correct.
in saving the cost, but there is a myth that they are not assisting enough in generating the revenue.
Yeah.
And both are important for the business.
Correct.
Okay. In fact, I always said that there are three critical functions for finance people. One is cost, which is cost saving. Another is the compliance. So, compliance with all the laws and local regulation. Another is capital, to take care of capital, to raise the fund. But beyond all these things, finance people should always be the value creator. Somewhere I feel, in my opinion, finance people have to give more importance to the factors which are non-financial in nature. Okay. Finance is not only about the numbers. In fact, now there is a growing understanding and growing phenomenon is there. There are 3 P's attached to any business, which is people, planet and profit. So, profit comes last, even in an alphabetical order, if you observed. So, why planet? Because of the sustainability of the business. So, probably just like we are seeing the emergence of whole new era, which is artificial intelligence, I am foreseeing that over the 2-3 years or 5 years, sustainability of the business will also be equally important. In India, I am very happy to tell that we already have BRSR code,
and ESG,
which is business responsibility sustainable reporting.
Correct. And
So,
also ESG is also becoming,
ESG, yeah. So, yeah,
very common.
very common.
Yeah.
So, more and more integrated reporting, for example, if we are talking about, okay. So, I think this one thing, that what is the accountability and what is the kind of core duty of finance people, okay. It should go somewhere beyond numbers also, taking into account all these aspects.
That's nice, sir. So I've had a lovely time chatting with you and conversing with you. I'm going to move on to the next segment, which is called Beyond the Balance Sheets. It's a fun segment where I'll be using my phone just to get to know the fun side of every chartered accountant.
Yeah.
So my first question is, or it's a rapid fire, probably you can think about it that way. What's your go-to mantra before walking onto any stage?
Go-to mantra is that deliver the value to the audience, okay. Give them something which probably they do not know, and never assume also that audience is not aware of certain thing. So, that is how when the audience leave the hall, they should feel informed, have some insightful and inspired probably.
That's nice. What's one finance myth that needs to go?
That's a good question. As I mentioned, the finance myth which needs to go is that finance is not only about the numbers. So, again, people at the both sides of the table, finance managers or accountants themselves and the other stakeholder should understand and adapt and appreciate the fact, right, that finance is not only about the numbers. I have had this numerous instances where I have come across the situation that finance actually should be used as an enabling tool and not only as a compliance or a controlling tool. So, this is the myth which should be busted, and the onus to bust the myth lies on the accountants themselves.
That's nice. If you were a movie, what would it be titled?
That's I am not at all movie loving person, but I remember in my college days we had a movie, this Dil Chahta Hai. So, why that movie is that उसमें there is a song is that, okay, Geena, that Dil kabhi na hum na rahe kabhi yaro ke bin. So, yaro means who are the yaro? Teamwork and collaboration. So, you are nothing without a collaboration, and unless you have the collaborative spirit and teamwork to engage and involve everybody, you cannot grow ahead.
That's nice. So, what if the CA profession disappeared tomorrow? What would you miss about it the most, and what would you do instead?
It's the things about tomorrow. Okay, I am of a firm believer, Geena, that whatever you have done will never go in vain. So, because as per your question, it may disappear tomorrow. So, whatever I have done over these 18 years, 20 years, it will not go in vain. So, I have adapted a great numerical skills, a great analytical skills, business knowledge, sector knowledge, and of course, the people management skill.
Correct.
So, irrespective of the fact whether CA remains or not, it will not go in vain. So, utilizing these skills, probably I will be an academician,
Okay.
a researcher, somewhere where I can I feel where I am successful, not only by my LinkedIn post or my designations, but by how I influence the people, how I can probably inspire the society, and how I can empower the next generation back, because that is the true success. True success is not measured by, as I mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
by designation, by emoluments, but how you create the societal value of any business, how you touch the lives of the people, how you humanize the finance function, and probably how you can serve the last person on the queue, utilizing your coveted skills and knowledge.
That's nice, sir. So, what is one final word of advice that you'll give to any student that's watching this video?
Very important question you ask, and I have been asked this question on many forums by the students. I always feel that one thing is that don't have the sense of elitism within you, especially this is true for chartered accountants. Okay. See what happens, Geena, that I passed when the result was in single digit. Now the students are fortunate, they are passing when the result is 20%. So they feel over their life that I belong to the elite and intelligent lot, and that will be a hindrance in their upskilling. Qualification, friends, will be helpful only for the next 5 or 7 years of your life. After that, it's all about your skills, your experience. Okay, that will be helpful. In fact, in my sessions, I always use the trilogy ask. So, what is the single mantra of success? Ask means first is your attitude, then your soft skills, and then your knowledge. In no particular order, all are equally important. So, this is my advice to the younger lot, and never stop learning and unlearning. I always tell them that utilize another acronym which I develop is the NEST. Very important is this networking. E means education, means relearning and upskilling yourselves, soft skills, and of course, the big friend, bosom friends of you is the technology.
So, you have chaired the ICAI Doha chapter, and as well as you are involved in the international relations at ICAI as well, for to grow it even further. How do you intend to do that?
So basically, after becoming the chairman of the Doha chapter of ICAI, this year I have been a special invitee to the International Affairs Committee of ICAI, okay, which is a very important committee because it is only at the central level, not at the regional level, and committee itself is presided by the Honorable President of ICAI as its chairman. Okay, so that is one thing. So it's a very important committee. Look, at chapter level, the scope is limited, where I am required to execute the event, required to empower and educate the members within my jurisdiction, which was Doha. So basically now when I am at the ICAI level as a special invitee into this International Affairs Committee, the gamut is widened. That is one thing. Okay, now at a committee level, as per the terms of the reference, we are required to see the further expansion, overseas expansion of the ICAI, new MOUs and MRAs between ICAI, because I was the instrumental in getting signed the first ever MOU between ICAI and the Qatar Financial Center. Okay, so now the scope is not only limited to the members within my jurisdiction. Since few years, since last year, we are organizing, ICAI organized the World Forum of Accounting, which was attended by more than 6,000 people. So under International Affairs Committee, this was also one of the points where ICAI is going to organize it. So the broad idea is that you grow further in your leadership position. Your job is not limited to particular jurisdiction, but actually you are getting involved into the very important, which is policy making and advocacy level, where you forge the collaboration between international accounting bodies, various other international stakeholders, and basically you serve the members, which is not limited to your jurisdiction, but in other countries also. So I am very happy to tell you that I was also instrumental in forming the Sweden representative office of ICAI
Okay.
and assisted my friends in Japan in the formation of the chapter. So, this is the whole idea of being into the International Affairs Committee. I am thankful to the president of ICAI for nominating me.
That's nice, sir. So thank you so much for this conversation. I've had a lovely time chatting with you, and thank you once again.
Pleasure is all mine. Wishing you personally and entire Zoho team very all the best in realizing your objectives.
Thank you. Thank you so much.